All right, guys, welcome all of you beautiful faces. We are super happy to have you here today. You guys are our February speakers. So we Fearless, Angie has put a ton of work into organizing a new segment, a new chapter in Fearless. As you all know, I'm going to be honest about it because there's no secrets here. So I'm just going to talk about what is real. Fearless has been struggling for engagement, and we need to bring back the vibe. And for those of you that remember, when Fearless was like hopping and just the place to be at, it was a good place. It was awesome. And I know I miss it. I know lots of you guys miss it. A lot of you talked about that. And so we are bringing back some more engagement. We are bringing back more experts, more people to teach you, talk to you, engage with you, and help you. So tonight is all about meeting them. So for February, we are bringing in every single day, 12 p.m. Eastern time. You will meet somebody new, a new expert in, of course, real estate, but little different niches. And yes, we're going to be repeating the experts, have different experts, have maybe more than one of the same kind of professional, but each one of these people brings something to the table that every single one of us needs. So tune in, show up, welcome, and to our guests tonight, welcome and thank you for joining us. You can just wave because if everyone says hi, I know it gets weird, right? So okay, anyways, let's start. For those of you, you may or may not know Lisa Stanley, so Best Life Investments. Lisa has recently purchased a multifamily building and has been keeping us in the loop, which is amazing. So Lisa, why don't you tell us about who you are in your real life, like who you are as a human, as a person, and then tell us who you are in your real estate investment world.
Okay, hi Tiffany. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Lisa
Always.
Stanley. I am actually a physiotherapist in my day job. I have two grown sons, married from Nova Scotia, but I'm living in Alberta, in Fort Saskatchewan, just outside of Edmonton. And I've been here for almost 20 years. As far as our real estate investing journey, we were accidental landlords in 2007 when we moved to Alberta for a year or so. And then we ended up selling that house. And then we bought our first purpose rental in 2009. And
Mm.
since then, we bought and managed single family homes all this time. And then just recently, almost a year ago now, we bought our first multifamily. And so, yeah,
Exciting.
exciting.
Super.
And we've been self-managing a lot of that time. So we're feeling like we have a lot of experience, education on both asset management and property management.
And you know what I like about it is you've got the diversity for sure, but what I also really like is you've got the time in the market. So, you've been
Hmm
doing this. So how many years is that since you first accidentally became a landlord?
19 years.
19 years.
Hmm
So in Alberta's terms, that means you've been through about a bazillion and a half ups and downs.
That's right.
Yeah. So that is what really the experience that you bring to the table that you don't even realize that you're bringing to the table is really so important for newer investors and even just those who've just been through their first cycle. Many of our people have been through their first cycle. So yeah, I just really happy to have you here. What were you doing all day today, Lisa? Let me just explain to people how many hats you wear. What were you doing 2 hours ago?
2 hours ago, I was at the building, and so was Angie and Andrew as well. In fact, this morning I worked as my day job, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Angie and Andrew are partners with us on our building, and Angie and Andrew have been here for almost a week, and we have done a lot of hands-on work in our building. Amazing work that we're so happy that we were able to get done. Updated our laundry room, updated storage, updated patios. Just got a lot of work done. So we're not always hands-on, but we really like to keep our finger on the pulse of this building. All our units. We like to
Yeah.
we know all our tenants, we know all the buildings, we know, nothing's gonna slip through the cracks.
Good partners to have, especially that are willing to get in and get a little bit of elbow grease in there. So,
For
okay,
sure.
awesome. So, Lisa, you will be doing, I will come back to you, but let's move on to Pierre. So, Pierre Papineau. So, Pierre and I don't actually know each other. I just know you because I've been watching your videos that you put into Fearless. And I noticed that even when they didn't comply with the rules, because I'm very anti-spammy, you changed them so that they did. So you're a team player, which is
Mm-hmm.
immediately a good sign. You weren't
Yep.
like, oh, you jerks, why don't you just accept it the way it is? You
Yeah.
you team play. So tell us who you are, Pierre, and what do you do?
So thanks for the opportunity. We met actually years ago when you were on stage. So this is like 15 years ago, part of yeah. So we did have a
No
brief
way.
introduction way back in the day.
And where
But
what
my name is
stage was that?
it was I think you're on a rain stage. Is
Okay.
that yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
long time ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah,
Um,
right on.
so my name is Pierre Papineau. I'm a property inspector with Overview Property Inspection. I do this full time. I am a father of two, and you can call me a hockey dad. So every time there's a game, every time there's practice, I'm on the ice. Not the lead, of course, but I'm there to help, and that seems to consume our life, whether it's at the rink or outdoor rink. So that's that's
Nice.
that's my highlight. Honestly, at the end of the week, I'm looking forward to going on the ice and just have some time on the ODR or just in St. Albert at Service or Connect. So yeah, a little bit
Nice.
of
That's
background
awesome.
and then as far
So
as
you,
investing, I yeah, and then as
no, go
far
ahead.
as I'm an active investor, been in I guess the cycles like everyone else for 15 years, mostly self-manage, and so we got a little bit of experience with acquisition as well. So yeah, so that's kind
Nice.
of a
And
background.
that was one of my specific questions for you. Not
Yeah.
everybody else here, but for you was why did you start posting into Fearless and why? So you make these little clips, which are fantastic on like, hey, look, here's something that you might want to look out for in your properties. And it's not just for investors, it's for homeowners and for whoever else, wherever else you post it. But
Mhm.
why Fearless? Like, what's your background in investing that made you, target? So
Well, the majority of my clientele is actually investors, to be honest with you. Like the last couple of years have been people from the East, people from BC, and so like it's just a natural fit because of the demographic within the community. So naturally, want to target my audience, and so it's a good you know leap of faith to put into Fearless, right? So
yeah. And now that I know that you have a background in investing specifically, then that it all comes together. So
mhm.
Pierre is for he's going to be Tools Tuesday, so he will be on Tuesdays. We will come back to that and talk a little bit about that. Let's move on to
Sure.
Julie. So Julie, you are in Ontario. Tell us who you are and what you do.
So I am in Ontario, super close to Pierre, actually. So on the way to Niagara Falls, I've been investing for since 2001. So what, 25 years? Um,
That's like I started about then too, but that means you've been investing longer than me.
a lot of people don't know that. I spent a long time in the travel industry, um, in various roles, working for the airlines and the tour operators and so on. But the travel industry doesn't pay very well, or it didn't back then, anyways. So I was a single mother, and I had to do what I had to do, right? So
Yeah.
one of the easiest things for me, and one of the most interesting things for me, was to invest in real estate. So I moved the kids around quite a bit, but I did that strategically and for a reason. And then once I built a little bucket of equity, I just started purchasing single family homes at the time. And now my portfolio mainly exists of multifamily dwellings that we rehab, by the way. So we'll do
Okay.
that and convert it ourselves. So a lot of experience with that where that's concerned. Um, I love it. It's
Right?
it's not for the faint of heart, let me tell you. but it's a lot of fun. I manage my portfolio, so I work with my tenants, and that hasn't been easy, especially in Ontario. But you know what? You just do it as soundly as possible. You educate yourself, and just make sure that that you're on top of things. It's
Yeah.
important, super important.
So it's easy to say that when, of course you're saying that to somebody else in their business, but when you've lived it and lived the consequences of not, then you know the importance all the more so. So now you are a realtor. You are also a mortgage professional. I don't want to say what profession because I don't know your exact, but tell us about that side of things.
For sure. So, I've had my mortgage agent license for some time. In fact, I got it when I was still in travel because, all of that building your team, and we had the realtor back then and the contractor and this and that, but we didn't have somebody who did mortgages. So I decided to add that to my plate and take it on. Um,
Yep.
then, when I was phasing out of travel, many of my clients said, Julie, I don't understand. Why can't you help us with a house? Why are you sending us and referring us to, realtors? We'd rather work with you. Well, lo and behold,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did. So I got registered and I love it. So I am in real estate and mortgages full time. That's what I
Okay.
do.
Awesome. Okay. So we're going to come back to you to find out when you'll be talking to us and what you'll be talking to us about. Let's move on to Colin and Corey. Corrine.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey. You guys are familiar faces around here, I know. However, tell us who you are. For those who may not know, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. Well, I think at this point, I feel like I'm one of the OGs
I think you are.
in this community. But for those who don't know, from Calgary, realtor, mom of 2 adult children, and obviously an investor. I've been investing since 2006. Started with single family homes, added suites, and then the portfolio has grown to have short-term rentals, commercial lease, and this year, just finishing up a 10-unit development in Calgary. So hoping to move more into the development and then acquisitions on larger multifamilies, hopefully 20 plus units. So in a nutshell, that's me. I've been around the industry forever. I was a real estate paralegal in my past life, and then I've been self-managing the whole time. So property management is also in my wheelhouse.
Okay, I did not know you were a paralegal. That is new to me. So
There you go. Fun fact.
And you know what? I think I find it really interesting how many people, like I have a really good friend. She was a paralegal and these houses would come across her desk back in the day as assumables. And she was just like, what on earth? Like, okay, why wouldn't I buy this? And she started buying real estate and now she's like got her whole empire going. And yeah, it's like once you kind of understand that backside of things, right? Okay, so by the way, guys, thank you. Those of you that are joining us, please make sure if you have any questions for these guys, if you want their contact info, any of that kind of stuff, let us know for sure. But you will be seeing them. Oh, I'm looking over here. No, you will be seeing them every day at 12 p.m. Eastern time for the next month. So every single day will be a different expert professional, leaving us just a quick tip, 5 minutes or under ish, just teaching us something. And every single time that I watch, well, okay, not every single time, let's be honest. The majority of the times that I watch these tips and tricks, I learn something. I want to say every time, because no matter how long you've been in this, how someone else does something or the way they approach it, or you learn so much. So none of us are above learning from these quick tips. So, Colin, you are also here. Who are you? What do you do?
So I'm Colin Graham, and originally from Calgary, born and raised, father of
Okay.
2.
Bye. No, I'm kidding. I don't have the Edmonton, Calgary animosity. I actually really love Calgary. But anyways, yeah. All right. Born and raised Calgary.
Go Flames, go.
Go Flames, go. Fine. All right.
Just got to get that in there.
Yeah, right. All right.
I'm a realtor as well. Been an investor, similar to Lisa, was an accidental landlord in 2008. We got relocated from Calgary to Newfoundland and had rental property that we lived in it, and then it ended up becoming a rental property because we couldn't sell it. It didn't make sense to sell it.
Yeah.
So we decided to hang on to it and try this thing out that's landlording, and learned a ton. And then from there, over time, just accumulated single family homes. We did a lot of fix and flip type projects, agreement for sale, creative real estate, rent to own, VTBs, all the tools that were kind of taught over the years.
Yeah.
So currently our focus is multifamily. That's where we're moving into. We've got developments, both Corrine and I, small multis in the 8 to 10 unit range, and a couple more projects coming up, and then looking to get into some bigger units.
So as you guys can see, we are in a room of giants. So not physically, but knowledge-wise, we are in a room of giants. We'll come back and talk about who's going to be when and where and what they're going to be talking about. But again, you guys probably are familiar with Angie. Angie's been around investing circles and Fearless for a very long time. Ange, who are you as a person? Because I think that's so important to get to know people as humans, right? As who they are first and foremost. We're investors, sure, but who are we as humans? And hopefully good humans, of course. But you know, we're still people and we still have lives. So, Ange, who are you? And then who are you as an investor?
Yeah, you bet. Thank you for having me on. My name is Angie Wiebe, and my husband Andrew is often around with me. We are very much partner in business and life kind of duo. So he owns and operates his own construction company, which has allowed us to do really well in our primary strategy, which typically has been a value add. So the BRRRR method, buying properties, putting our own basement suites in. We've done flips, that kind of thing. And my day job is a registered psychologist. So by day, I do counseling. I work with people, which actually is a really nice blend for our portfolio because we manage our own properties. And so I'm more the people side, the public face of the business. Andrew does more of the construction and background stuff.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And it's so funny. So Colin, you guys all know Colin, Coast to Coast, Colin and Nicole. He's like, he's like, Andrew, you at the A-frame. And it's so funny because you guys have been building this A-frame. We've been following on. And then Robin was like, wait, no, I think you're doing the call from the apartment. He says, man, you guys did wonders with the paint. The background looks like a fully run out unit.
So Robin, hilarious, Robin.
Yeah.
So pretty nice. I'm actually in Fort Saskatchewan right now. I'm in Lisa's kitchen because we are partnered with them on the apartment building. And we were at the apartment, as you said earlier today, working on it. So that's part of the business that we just love. I love doing the hands-on. I've got a tool belt as well. I'll get as dirty as Andrew will. But yeah, we love the variety, the diversity, partnering.
And I think it's really cool that the fact that all of you guys, like you guys all went for dinner the other night, like the community shows up. Robin was, when I came by the apartment the other day, Robin was there with you guys. Like it's not just your baby. It's kind of like become everybody's baby almost because you're sharing so much, Lisa, on social media. So, okay, let's get back over to Julie. Let's talk to you really quickly here. Tell me what you plan to share with us. When will we see you? What will you share with us? What can we learn from you? How do we contact you? Certainly we'll be able to find you here on Facebook, but yeah, tell us all about that.
Oh, for sure. So I did a series of four videos, which I thought were super pertinent. And I found as I was kind of reading or listening to it again, it sounds kind of repetitive, but you know what? It's important. And and each of the topics really kind of feed into each other. So you're really going to gain, our audience is really going to get a lot of value from this. Definitely geared towards more of the newbie investor. But for some of the more strategic investors, the ones that have been around for a long time, I hope that it does bring value. And Tuesdays, I think I was, Angie?
Your Finance Friday, Julie.
Finance Friday. Sorry about that. It wasn't
all good.
Sure. Thank you. So Finance Fridays, and from what I understand, it is weekly for 4 weeks on Fridays. Makes sense.
And that's all about mortgage stuff, more so than real estate and market, that sort of thing, right?
Correct. It's mainly about mortgages and, strategic investing and some tips and tricks and so on for an old bag that's been doing this for a long time. So.
Well, I mean, I won't say old bag, but I will say that having as much as see this gray hair that I have I have earned it, every bit of it, and I wear it with pride because as a mortgage professional who has also been an investor for that long, you understand how one decision can affect another. You also understand how sometimes you can plan for the best of things and it's not going to work out anyway. And so you have to figure it out in the moment, on the spot. So the fact that you are, the things that you find important are things that we should also find important. So really looking forward to your series. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're welcome to stick around or you're welcome to hop off, whatever you need to do. But how do we contact you?
Sure. So did you want me to give out my email address and my phone number? Does that work for you? Sure. It is Julie, Julie, at simple mortgage by Julie.ca. That's BY. So Julie at mortgagebyjulie.ca. My phone number is really easy, 416-888-0111.
0111. That is easy, actually. Okay, so I mean, I believe that people start contacting you because of credibility and trust built over time. So, however, this will go on YouTube. And so in time, when people get to know you, they may need to find you. So we'll leave it at that. And again, you're welcome to stick with us or you can jump off, whatever you would like to do.
I am going to have to say goodbye. I have let Angie know this. I've got this client's call, so I've got to head out. You guys, awesome meeting you all, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds great.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Angie. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Take care. All right, Pierre, you're a hockey dad. Are you running to a hockey game tonight?
No, but we have other obligations though. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, lots of us as real estate investors, we get into a side gig of some sort because cash flow on paper is not cash flow in real life, right? You can't live off of cash flow for quite a while. We often get into a side gig. You've gone into inspections. What's the worst? Not the worst. What's the most common mistake you see investors doing when buying a house or even maintaining their properties?
Yeah, something just clicked when you said that. And I think when people are looking to buy their first one, they don't run the numbers properly. And I always tell clients, this is the house that will put you under. So make sure you've got the capital for the repair, because especially first time eager buyers that are super excited, they don't understand and how distressed the property actually is. And I can't emphasize how much or how important it is for you to have the capital to do those repairs. I understand we all want to do repairs to increase the value, refi, but having liquid cash to do those repairs is probably the biggest thing that I see, actually.
Nice. And for me to have an inspector that's doing, inspection on a property that I know is also an investor, you know, makes a big difference because you're looking at it and going like, okay, this is something you might have to do to get it rented. And this is
Yep.
something you might have to do in 5 years. So you can budget differently and you would actually have the background understanding to know that. So I'll just give you an example. I'm looking to purchase a home right now myself, and the inspector, so my realtor, she's my sister-in-law, and she uses this guy, and he's like super great. But I think of things from an investment point of view. So he's telling me like kind of all these small details, and I'm like, yeah. Like I don't, that stuff does not matter to me at all. Like give me the goods. And so I thought, you know, about that in that I thought, wow, what a difference it is when you're dealing with someone who's in investment and understands
Yeah.
kind of that thing. So, okay. So running the numbers, having a reserve. What's your top tip before I let you go? And I will let you go. I'll kick you out if you got to run. Top tip for investors in an
Top tip
inspection.
in inspection. If you're probably the best one I would say, when you are approaching a property, when you're first looking at it, approach things with a micro and macro perspective. Look at the house from a distance, look at things close up, because when you're close up, you don't see things properly. And so that's probably the best advice you could get from you can look at the roof line naturally, right? So micro, macro perspective when first viewing a property.
Okay, interesting that you say that about the roof line, because one time we were like all in on buying this place, and then we happened to just go across the street and be chatting, and we looked back at it and the roof line was actually worked. And we didn't buy the place because we were like, whoa, what is that? But it was like, okay, from a far perspective, we were like, what is going on there? Yeah, it's really interesting. Actually, I never actually thought about that before, but yeah. Okay, Pierre, we look forward to all of your insights. Thank you for sending us those videos. We look forward to it. He is Tools Tuesday, so you will meet Pierre every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern for the month of February. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. I know you're busy. Your kids need you more than we do, so feel free to hop off whenever you need to.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your night.
Yeah, thanks, Pierre. Oh, what's the name of your business? What's the name of his business if he's gone already? Good.
Overview. Yeah. Overview Property Inspection out of Edmonton.
Overview Property Inspection. Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks,
you.
Pierre.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. We're back to the OGs. Look at this. Okay, I'm just going to check in with this and see if there's any questions. Have you seen? Let me see.
I don't have anything coming up here. I'm keeping a little bit of an eye. So
okay, cool.
No
okay,
questions
awesome.
specifically. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, remember and I repeat myself in lives, and those that are guests are like, why? But it's because people hop in and out of a live, right? So they might be watching for this 5 minutes, but not for the last. So this is a new segment in Fearless where we are having a new speaker every day of the week at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So Mondays will be different than Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, different speaker every single week for the month of February. And then perhaps new speakers. Some are OGs and standards like these guys. Actually, there we go. That's actually perfect. Look at that. So you will find them at the same time every single week for the year. So welcome, guys. And then we're going to have all kinds of people coming on, and I'm really excited for what you're doing, Ange. So thank you. So, all right. Let me see. Where do we go? Ange, let's go to you. Okay. Ange, what are you going to do for us? Now, you are a registered psychologist. You are also a longtime investor. And you are, of course, a huge part of Fearless. What will you be helping us with in your segment? What can we expect?
So the segment that I am going to be first speaker in will be called Thrive Thursdays. And that segment, Thrive Thursdays. So we'll have different speakers come in to talk about ways that you can thrive in your business, in your personal life. I will take more of a mindset approach because I'm a registered psychologist by trade. So that will be the first month, will be more of a mindset, but we will have different speakers come in and talk about other ways that you can thrive in your business.
Okay. So more from a keep going kind of personal point of view. Because this game is hard. This is not fun. to be doing what we do. Some days it's super fun. And other days it's brutal. So, yeah, really important part of it, guys, is getting to the mindset part. So, and
there are things that like we as humans just naturally experience. You know, all of us will experience things like comparison. So I'm going to talk about that. We'll talk about fear and how to overcome
like,
fear.
okay, just wait, like comparison, like I'm comparing myself to others who are doing way more, and I've been doing this longer and I should be further ahead than I am.
Exactly. Yep. So I've got a segment on that. And
Good.
talking about like how to overcome that or how to approach that.
Nice. Because that can be like for some people, I know that can be very motivating. Like they love the challenge of it. For me, that is
Mhm.
it's inspiring in that I'm like, okay, it can be done, but also it keeps the narrative of you're not doing as much as someone else. It keeps that going. So yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, so mindset stuff from you, and that's Thrive Thursdays, and that's in any way. So it might be mindset, it might be in accounting, making your portfolios thrive. It can be in anything thrive.
In operations, like whatever it might be. Yeah.
Perfect. 12 p.m. on
12 p.m.
Thursday.
Eastern, Thursdays. Yep.
Pierre Inspections was Tools and Trades.
Tools and Trades Tuesdays.
Julie, Finance Fridays. And
Yep.
again, it's Finance Fridays, but with a different guest, or Tools and Trades with a different guest, and they're all going to bring something different. So
Yeah.
different take. Yeah. Okay. Anything? Okay, I have a question for you. Just wait. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen at a showing?
Oh, the weirdest thing I've ever seen at a showing.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Because you've been doing your own property management for a while. Okay, what's the weirdest thing that you thought get left behind at a move out?
Oh, we had a bad move out this spring. It was our worst one, and we don't have many. We do a lot of screening. We have a lot of communication with tenants, but we had a box full of drug paraphernalia, and so for us that was just really disconcerting.
Yeah. I told you my story about the marijuana before. I had no idea what it was. It was this big, huge bag, and it was all like up in the ductwork above the hood fan. And so I was like, "Oh, that's cool! Like, wow, there's all these spices." And so I threw them out into the yard, like, and then there was some around the furnace ducting too. I had no idea what it was. Threw that out into the yard, and then all the neighbors were like, "Ooh, do you want help cleaning your yard?" I'm like, "Sure, that'd be great." I had no idea. Corey came along after, and he's just like, "You know that there's pot in the yard, right?" I had no idea. So, anyways, yeah, weirdest thing at an inspection. Okay. How to describe? I'm gonna just give you guys a heads up with some of these questions. Weirdest thing you've seen at a showing, biggest rookie mistake that you've seen. War stories. Tell us about a deal that almost died and somehow survived. So you can choose any of these from the pot as I go around. Okay. And Thursdays for February, Thrive Thursdays, 12 p.m. Eastern. Lisa.
Hello.
Hello again. Okay. What will you be doing for us? When do we expect to see you? What are we going to learn from you? You're already doing lots of posting. You're already teaching us the things that you're learning. What are some of the segments in February?
So at noon on Wednesdays, Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing Asset Class Wednesdays. So that's mostly going to consist of asset management. So managing your asset, managing your property, managing your building. There will be some property management tied in there a little bit, but it's mostly on managing the actual asset. So managing the property manager or managing, all the various things, talking about the finances, talking about, capital expenses and operating expenses and how to run your building or your property efficiently, because you hear a lot of talk about buying property, but that is just the beginning. It needs to be well managed, and we can't count on our property managers to manage our assets. That's not their job. Our job is to manage the assets. So there's a ton of topics, over the period of time that I'll be doing this. There's lots to talk about. I could go on and on and on about it. I'm excited. I feel like I've learned a lot education-wise, but I've learned a lot experience-wise. A lot of those lessons are hard-earned. And if I can help anybody at any point in time not learn the hard way, then I've succeeded.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you have a standing spot. So every Wednesday you will be sharing some sort of gem with us. So again, I love how you say it's not just from from education, it's from actually hands-on, get your hands dirty, and that's where you really grow. So awesome. Okay, looking forward to it. Best Life Investments. I love too that you also have made decisions in your life all the way along to make sure that you are, making good decisions as your lifestyle goes. And so I think you're an awesome example for all of us in that, because it is not all about the destination. If we don't enjoy the journey,
that's right.
There's no point in being in this. And you have lived that and shown it and proved it. So really happy that we'll be learning from someone of your mindset and ethics. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Corey and Colin. Oh, sorry. No, I have one more question for you. Okay. So you have your choice. So biggest rookie mistake, weirdest thing you've seen at a showing, weirdest thing you've seen left behind, or a deal that almost died but somehow survived.
I have a lot of stories of things that were left behind, partly because early in our career, we let our property manager manage a lot of properties, and we didn't really supervise them the way we should have. So I could tell you a lot of stories from that. I could also tell you stories from our building that we've just inherited 15 tenants, so all kinds of news stories. However, I think it'd be more valuable if I talk about a rookie mistake that we actually made. And that was when we did trust a property manager who came recommended by someone who was in a very well-respected real estate investing group. And we just thought they were going to do what was best for the property. And they did not. And we didn't pick up on it soon enough. So they were doing things like a tenant would move out, and whatever damages were done, they wouldn't get them fixed. They would just put them on the move-in inspection for the next tenant. They were doing things like not advertising. And I had a tenant once we did take over, once we saw what was going on, we did take over the self-management again. We had a tenant say, yeah, he never advertised this unit. I met up with him at a party and he told me I had a place for rent, and I moved in the next day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then he was telling tenants that we didn't care about our property. It's crazy. And this is a license.
So manage your manager, right?
Manage your manager. Yeah.
And people say I say to people all the time, like put an ad on and get it out there. I have a property manager. I'm paying them to do that. Well, the buck stops with you. It's not the property manager that's going to be missing the rent that month. It's going to be your bank account that misses the rent that month. So the buck stops with you. And I love that. Manage the manager. I could tell you some stories too, but that is a very good one. I like it. All right. Manage the manager. Thanks, Lisa. I'm looking forward to, again, learning from you, and you're in it. You're in the nitty gritty right now, every day, all day. So that's really important. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Colin and Corey. Thank you, Lisa. All right. Colin and Corey. When will we see you? What are we going to hear from you? What are we going to learn from you? You guys, I'm going to call you old because you are. And you in this world, okay, he's old, sorry. But in real estate, you're both old. But there's so much that we can learn from you. What are we focusing on this? Oh, Angie messages me and says seasoned.
That's better.
That's
Vintage.
better.
Vintage. That's
Vintage.
cool.
Oh, vintage. I don't know about that. I get like my nieces want my clothes and ask me if I have vintage stuff. And I'm like, not really. And they're like, you have nothing from when you were a teenager? I'm like, oh, is that what you mean? Anyway. Okay, so what are we going to learn from you guys for February? I mean, I know there's going to be lots through the year, but for February, what are we going to learn?
Oh, well, yeah, I think we've just started planning the full year. So I don't exactly know what February is going to chunk down to, but Mondays at noon Eastern, we're going to be doing Mastery Monday. And so at first I was like, that's a little daunting. I don't feel like we're necessarily masters at anything, but in talking about it, we just sort of came up with, I don't think mastery in real estate investing is about perfection. Like, it's not having the biggest portfolio, it's not about the flashiest deal. It's about becoming solid investors, right? Skilled, more grounded, self-aware, learning how to make the decisions and always doing the right thing. So ours will kind of float over everything. We have some pillars in mind. And so they'll be like the deal mastery, wealth mastery, market mastery, and execution mastery, and then kind of just the personal mastery aspect of it. So yeah, that's where we're headed. And it's going to ebb and flow. That we touch on a little bit of everything, it feels like. So we'll be talking to you as a realtor, we'll be in our flips, we'll be development, we'll be, just whatever comes up that we think this community could get value from. So there you go, in a nutshell.
I love it because, for me, this is something that I don't do actively myself anymore. And I do, like, I want to get back into it, but I'm not going to get back into it in a huge, massive way. I just love doing it, so I can't stay away. But, when you're in it and you are right now to the minute feeling the pulse of what's happening, and you can share that with us, that's huge, because as you go through your investing, we're all going to be having to do that in our investing as well. So the fact that you're going to share it with us and kind of give us the heads up on stuff is really important. So are you guys doing the videos together or separate?
Mostly together. I think we'll be focused on doing them together. We wanted to bring some case study stuff as well. We've got a recent flip that we just finished that's now been sold. Possession is on Friday. So we're going to put together a case study now that it's done, and we can go through that. And then, for sure we want to be present. It's easier for us, I think, when we're together, because we feed off of each other's energy as well. And so, when it comes to, Corey may say something and then it's going to cue something for me to add in as well. I wanted to say Pierre, who was on earlier, he's a great inspector. I've used him in the past, and he's very thorough, and he's very attentive to his clients. So good choice if you're looking for a multifamily property investor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What I really appreciate about his videos is that it's the little things that seem inconsequential. They really do. It's like, meh, like that's something you can just look over. And I don't like, if a tap squeaks or whatever, like if it needs a new washer, like big deal, right? Like that's fine. But there's all these other little things that it's like, if you leave this, it becomes a problem. And that's what he brings, is those little things that it's a mountain out of a molehill, but he brings it to our attention at the molehill stage.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I really appreciate. And he doesn't think like, oh, this is too little to actually expound on, because he knows from experience that it's not. So okay, that's awesome. That's great to know. And I did ask around about him a little bit. Of course, before we invite somebody to have a segment, we would, make sure of their reputation. And had a handful of people say they've used him.
You didn't just meet him at a party yesterday?
It was funny because it took me a minute to put it together. I didn't really it didn't click that Pierre was or like, as soon as I heard overview again, then I was like, wait a minute, I know who that is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was good to put that together. The other thing I guess we would say and ask the community is, if you have topics you want us to cover and go into, please let us know. We're more than happy. We want this to be a conversation more than a broadcast. So if there are specific things that come up during the week, if you've got questions for Corey or myself, we're always happy to help. And same thing as Lisa, we've learned a lot over the years from experiences, and I'm always happy to share our experiences. And if we can help people not make the mistakes that we've made and learn from our mistakes, it's way easier to learn from somebody else's mistakes. So,
right? So much easier.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, you guys are both realtors. You're also both investors, again, across a gamut of sectors. But my question for you was, what is the strangest negotiation tactic? And maybe not like if strangest is hard. Oh, you got one. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, what?
Okay, so agreement for sale, flip, and on the sale side, when we were selling the property, we added an incentive of a used car. So we were selling the property, and if you bought the property, you got this, $10,000 car that came along with it as well. So, which was crazy to me, but
yeah. And did you do it? Did they buy the property and buy the car?
Yep, it went through. So it was a crazy.
So just imagine that's somebody is putting on a 25-year mortgage on the car, really, essentially, but really getting it for free, really. But that's awesome. So for those who don't know what an agreement for sale is, can you explain that in a nutshell-ish, and then why that relates to the selling side of that?
An agreement for sale is basically where the original seller of a property stays on the title of the property, and you have a firm sales contract at a future date. And that could be a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. And you set terms in the contract for who's responsible for expenses, who covers income, if there's rental income, all the terms of that time frame while you're going through whatever it is you're doing with the property. So we used agreement for sale a lot for fix and flip, but we also use them in a sandwich situation where we would put a rent to own in on the other side of the contract. So we basically have two contracts going at the same time. Not recommended. It works out sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, it's a very difficult situation to manage. Lots of challenges come up from it. So
sounds complicated.
So when I first heard of the sandwich, oh my goodness, I was so excited. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. So the idea is I can get a property, but I don't actually have to buy it. I can just have somebody, agree to sell it to me. And in the meantime, I get to negotiate what happens to that property and keep the gain from that. This is amazing because I had no money. So this is great. But yeah, Colin, I love that you've been around the block a few times. We become better investors with every kick in the teeth. I truly believe that. So the more kicks in the teeth that we have all had, the more we can share that out. So I'm looking forward to hearing all about all of, even some of, like you said, case studies. I think it'd be super cool to see okay, here's the property that we're looking at right now buying, because you guys are actively in the market, or maybe your investors are, because you are both realtors that deal with investors. And here's what could be done. Here's one scenario. Here's another scenario. Here's another. I love the transaction engineering part of all of this stuff. It's just so much learning. And then, heck no, we're not doing that because of this, or whatever it might be. That's the fun stuff, I think.
Yeah. There's 9 ways to skin a cat, right?
9 ways to skin a cat. Okay, Corey, what is your strangest negotiation tactic or best negotiation tactic? Because I'm not a good. The reason I was like, I'm going to ask this to you guys. I'm not a good negotiator. I'm terrible at it. I'm just like, okay, sure. Okay, good. If you're happy, I'm happy. but that is not right. I know it's terrible, but I don't care enough. But realtors have to negotiate on your behalf. In fact, that is to me their number one value. MLS, whatever, all showings, whatever. You are getting me a better deal or saving me money somehow. What's a good negotiation tactic, Corey?
I don't have any crazy stories, but I'd say overall, silence is an amazing negotiation tool. And a lot of people don't use. They just keep talking and talking and talking, and they're actually like driving it into the ground. Like less is more. And like I consider myself a good negotiator, but it's very like I use silence a lot. It's like that dramatic pause. It leaves the other side sort of wondering, oh, are they like talking? And yeah, so I would say on the whole, silence is a pretty powerful negotiation tool.
I think Never Split the Difference guy, he also says that. Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
he says put it out there and then zip it. Like just let them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And we will see you every Monday. Yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern for the month of February for the year, which is great. So I'm really happy that we're having this. Thanks, Angie, for putting all the work into making this happen. It's fantastic. And I know you did a lot to make it all happen. So guys, Fearless, tune in. Give them some heart showers when they're on, because sometimes it's hard to know that people are actually here and listening when there's no comments, there's no thumbs up, there's no any of that stuff. And I get why. But you know what? If you see them and they've given you a good tip, let them know, because sometimes we need that assurance. We think, oh, you guys are the big fish. You don't need that anymore. Well, we're still humans. We still need it. So, okay. Any last parting words from everyone, or are we good?
I think
No, we're
I
really
just want.
excited.
Yeah.
We're really excited, and just thanks to you guys for thinking of us and having us on.
Of course, it was a totally natural fit. Ange?
I just want to run through the schedule one more time in order.
Hey,
So
thank you.
Monday, Mastery Monday, Tools and Trades Tuesday, Asset Class Wednesday, Thrive Thursday, Finance Friday.
Awesome.
Sweet. That's a pretty dang good lineup, I think. So, all right, Fearless. We are gonna love you and leave you. Next week we are back with Chris Davies. Chris Davies, for those of you who I think he's been in real estate the longest of anyone I know, because he was pretty much born into it. His family owned more apartment buildings, or maybe managed and owned more apartment buildings in the city than any other family when I came in on the scene. The guy was literally born into real estate. So he is now a broker. He is also a renter. This is the most important part. He feels the same way I do about what's going on in markets today and investors today and the new climate or the new culture of investing. And he's ready to rant. He's promised me a couple honest takes on stuff. So next week we'll be here with Chris. Please join us, guys. He wrote here. I was just looking through it today. oh, come on. No. Apartment buildings that outperform.
Oh, good.
Oh, there. So he wrote the book on that, literally. And we'll see him next week. Thank you guys for joining us. We really, truly appreciate all of you joining us. And take care, guys. And Ignited, we will see you over in Laser in 6 minutes. So see us over there in 6 minutes. All right. Cheers, guys. Everyone have a wonderful, beautiful week.
See ya.